Hello again, this is Ukok, and thank you for joining me for another tour around the garden. And we've done the patio area, just recorded about that, so now we're going to start with this side of the garden, which, as you can see, is very green. And it's fast become one of my favourite colours. We did the grow houses just in the last video, and now I'll just show the potato foliage, which is all flopping over and taking up a good metre of the patio. And to be honest, I know I keep saying that I don't hold out much hope, but I'm realising the errors that I made with planting the potatoes in the recycling bags. There's absolutely nothing wrong with using the recycling bags, but I should not really have bought end of season seed potatoes, and that's why I think I'm going to see very poor results, which is a shame because the cost of the compost is considerable, and it will be a shame really. But so I'm leaving them, even though they look a mess, I'm leaving them as long as possible before I start to harvest them. On a brighter note, I've pulled a couple of carrots out from here, and they're all doing reasonably well, but they're only going to provide us with a very small amount of carrots, I think, in that container, considering they've been growing in there for about 4 months or so. Over here, as you can see, we have quite a few pods with broad beans on, and I tried them again recently, opened another pod up yesterday, and although they look quite substantial in size, they're very, very tiny peas, and not anywhere near ready for eating. So I'm just going to go around and we'll start with the first raised bed. First of all, we'll start actually with these forget-me-nots. Look how much they've grown. And aren't they just delightful? They're beautiful. Tiny, tiny little flowers, which unfortunately my video will not pick up in any detail, but they're absolutely beautiful. Lavender. This is the one that I rescued from the garden centre. The other one's died. The one that I picked from my dad's garden. Right, so first raised bed, we have tomato plants. There's some tiny ones, tiny tomato plants. I think they are they Gardener's Delight? I don't know, and I'll tell you the truth, next year they've got to have labels on because, you know, I'm very forgetful and it's difficult for me to remember what I've planted. But the larger ones, these are something like the ones in the grow house have, in fact, little tiny tomatoes on. And let's just go over here, and you can see that these small ones have lots and lots of flowers on, so hopefully will provide us with a lot of tomatoes, little tiny cherry tomatoes. The outdoor peppers I planted, they're okay. I mean, they've been devoured a bit by slugs and what have you, but in fact I'm not expecting any fruit to be produced from them really. It's just that I had so many, and I gave a lot away on Freegal, which is a local what is it? It's like a board where you can offer things that you have a surplus of, or request things that you have nothing of. And it doesn't just apply to plants, etc. It's anything basically. So I gave a lot of pepper plants away. Some weren't collected, etc. So I just decided to put them in the ground. We'll see what happens with them. Either way, I'm not too fussed about that as long as I've got the ones in the grow houses doing well. The red currants are doing really quite well. I did pick some yesterday, and I'm waiting for these ones to deepen in colour. This, which is either a blackberry, a chayberry, a raspberry, I don't know what it is. I'm waiting for it to produce fruit. It could be autumn fruiting, or it may not fruit at all. But we'll see. This one has very few currants on it. I don't know if we can catch them. And we have to wait for this to go black, and there's literally a tiny, tiny handful. So nothing exciting there. Right, we're up to 5 minutes. I'm halfway through. I've got to whiz through the rest. Strawberries are doing very, very well under the netting, and we've had, this is going to be, a good few days yet, but we've had a lot. And what I've been doing, I have been able to freeze some. So I've got a container in the freezer, and then I just take them in and wash them, pat them dry, and then put them in this container in the freezer. When I have enough of them, I will make jam. Actually, the red currants berries, I'm doing the same thing with them. I don't know if you've seen the other video with the oregano in. This is now doing extremely well, and the mint is starting to take off. The sage is coming back to life. The basil is as decimated as ever. Slugs love it apparently. Golden thyme looking a bit worse for wear, but okay-ish. Chives have had nothing from this year, but hopefully next year, because I believe that they're perennial, I will get something from them. Parsley, now I took lots out of the other pot and potted this on because it's a horrible sickly colour. I'm hoping to get it back to its wonderful green colour. What's that over there? Let's have a look. And that's celery parcel, which has got a celery taste, and you can add it to soup, stews, etc. So if we just go back to this bed, which has, it does have one tomato plant in it because I didn't know where to stick another one. And as you can see, if you just take a look at this masses and masses of foliage that's growing from the parsnips. My only hope is that, in autumn, winter, what have you, when the first frosts have sweetened them, that there is something to show for all of this. But anyway, it looks quite good, all the greenery, doesn't it? It looks like I'm succeeding in some way, even if I'm not. More strawberry plants over here, so let's just have a very quick look. I picked most of the ones that were ripe yesterday. There's just a few ripening up, I think. And then let's have a look at the square foot garden. Just enough time, I think. The Hestia beans just starting to develop their flowers. The lettuce salad leaves are going to seed. I've been pulling them out as soon as I see them. The outdoor tomatoes are doing as well as the ones in the greenhouse, really, because we have little tomatoes growing on them. And over here, the carrots looking good above ground. Leeks doing quite well. The parsnips over there growing. Beetroots, I haven't been able to pull any beetroots yet because nothing's really grown below ground on any beetroot that I've planted anywhere in the garden. Radish we've had most of already now. Oh, that's a big one. Let's just see. I think that needs eating today, doesn't it? That just tastes all woody and horrid. And here, spring onions, which didn't really amount to anything. Got to show you my squashes before this video runs out. Just love these patty pan squashes. Look at the leaves now. Last week I could walk around here, but now it's starting to grow over onto the square foot bed and I can't walk through it. Lots of foliage, but look underneath. And there's a tiny little patty pan squash behind the flowers, just starting to grow. Wonderful. I don't know if we can get a closer look really because it's so much foliage. Not really, I don't think. But anyway, really chuffed with that. And also I've got little tiny gherkins growing, which I'm hoping to pickle. You see these behind the flowers just starting to develop, so there's some of those. And I know I'll rush through that, but I just wanted to complete this side of the garden and then I'll do another video afterwards. Hope you'll join me then. Thank you. Bye bye.